Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. We asked for you guys to ask me anything, and that's what you guys did. We have almost 100 questions. We are not going to be able to get to all of them, but we're going to get to as many as possible. We're not sure about how many of these videos we'll do, maybe what, two or three, something like that. This is part 2, so with that being said, let's go ahead, get right into it.
Getting away from shoes for a minute, how'd you meet your wife?
She hit me in the head with a cash register at the place that we worked. We worked at AMC, the theater, and I was changing, she was at the register and I was changing out the candy that was underneath it, the display. Didn't I tell you not to like open your register?
You said like,
yeah, it's
hey,
like this.
I'm gonna work down here, so watch it.
Yeah, story of my life. I tell her something, she doesn't listen, and I get hurt because of it. That's what happened. And how many years have we been together?
15.
15 years later, she does the same to me all the time. But that's how we met. We met at AMC theaters. It was a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think so. At least it was cool. You got free movies, and at least at the time you got like major discounts on like the concession food and stuff like that. So at that time I was broke as and I was living on my own. And so those like $1 hot dogs that we got or the $1 nachos that we'd get, they like legit saved my life because like I didn't have enough money to pay for food or anything. All my money was going towards rent and utilities.
If you had to name one, what would be the worst basketball shoes?
Ever? I don't even like questions like this because you got to like for real think about it. And I've never played in every single shoe.
True.
So like I can only talk about like my experiences. One of them is like right next to you. That shoe, the Foamposite. You want to hand it to me? Like the Foamposite, man. These are tanks, but these are really hard to move in. I love the way that these look. I think that they're very, very cool looking and all that stuff. But functionally, it's just not my favorite shoe to play in. But then there's like other shoes, like more modern shoes, like some of the LeBrons I didn't like. The Soldier 2s. You remember those?
No.
Man, them were tanks too, dude. Those were bricks. But yeah, so there's a bunch of shoes and stuff, man. Like the D-Rose 9. Oh my god. Oh my god. People keep asking me about that performance review. I don't even want to talk about them things, man. Them are bad, dude. Like, don't even bother with those. What else is there?
It's not coming, guys. Just stop asking.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to those shoes, man. Don't buy the D-Rose 9. Them are trash.
What would you do if you won the $1 billion lottery that's going on?
I'd be rich as That's what would happen. I would still be doing the same but I'd just be rich. It'd be awesome.
If one wanted to, how could they join WearTesters?
In what capacity?
I guess it would depend, but like, how would they go about doing it?
You can email me, and this is what you don't do, okay? Don't email me and tell me that you love basketball and that you want to be a tester to get free shoes, or even allude to that, because I can read through the lines. And a lot of the emails that we get are just people trying to get free product and stuff. And we've done that before, where we've brought people in, we get them product, and we don't ever see them again. You know what I mean? And so like, I'm not trying to, deal with snakes. A lot of people try to come on the team and help out or whatever, but they've got no resume. Like they're like, yeah, I play basketball. It's like, well, that's cool. Like, so do I, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And so just like however many other people can you actually tell people what's good and bad in a shoe based off of your experiences, or just explain your experience in a shoe properly so that everybody's understanding of what it is that you're talking about. Because it's not just like people are like, oh, I'm a better hooper than you. It's like, cool, I'm a better speaker than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be a dick. So
right. If you want to be a writer, send in a writing sample.
Yeah, if you wanna be a contributor as far as like writing articles, you could do that, but only do that if you're actually interested in doing something like this. Because again, we bring you on, we take the time to train you, and then you waste our time because you never produce anything. And so like it's easier for us to not, you know what I'm saying? To not bring anybody new in because we can't trust that anybody's gonna do anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to like fill you out just because. So like if you want to work with us, like you can send me an email, tell me what you want to do, show me your resume if you have that. But if you don't have that for whatever the task is that you want to tackle, like don't hit me up because I'm not gonna pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Because to me that just looks like you're looking for handouts.
Would you approve of Adidas retroing the T-Mac line or making a Pro-Tro version?
They're doing kind of both. Didn't I talk about that in the previous question?
You mentioned T-Mac.
Yeah, so like I would like to see some of the T-Macs re-released. They're doing some of the, I don't know if you would consider it a Pro-Tro. We've talked about this before, but a Pro-Tro is something that you can't tell was changed.
Right.
It looks identical. What they were doing is taking a Boost midsole and putting it on like a T-Mac upper. So that's like a new shoe.
Yeah, like with the Kobe that they just did.
Yeah, the Kobe 2s or KB 2s or whatever. The crazy 2s, whatever they're calling them now. But like, like that shoe.
That's the boost you wear.
Yeah, that shoe's not a Pro-Tro. It's like a hybrid because they're taking the Boost You Wear tooling and they're putting it on the KB2 upper. So it's two things making one thing that's new. Now, if you're gonna make a T-Mac model and then the interior of the midsole is Boost, but you can't see it, then that's a Pro-Tro, and that would be dope. That's what they should be doing. But instead, they're like making new models. The thing that I don't like about Boost is that, like visually, is that it looks the same on every shoe.
Right.
You know, like they cut it into a square or a midsole or whatever, and they slap it on all these models, and I'm just like, dude, like you wonder why sales are down. It's because everything looks the same, and you're trying to charge a shit ton of money for great tech, but it all looks the same. It's confusing to people. Like you've got to do something different. You have to do something different with that shit. Make your engineers and your designers actually design stuff. Stop being lazy. You know what I mean? Like you can't just boost, 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 slap, slap, slap. You can't do that.
Right.
That's stupid.
If you had to choose one and the other would never exist, this is gonna be tough.
Okay.
What would you choose? Nerd stuff or sneakers?
I was into nerd shit first, but I really do like shoes. Repeat the question. If you pick one, the other doesn't exist?
Yeah, it never would exist. So nerd stuff, taking away your movies, your comics.
Yes, but how would, so everybody's walking around barefoot or what? There'd never be a basketball shoe?
I guess it would be, we'd all be in like fancy shoes.
How are we hooping?
You're not. You're in fancy shoes or you're barefoot.
Nah. That's a weird question, man. Skip that one.
What?
Yeah, skip that one.
It was his question.
I think it's interesting, but that doesn't make sense. That's not logical.
It's your two passions, so I guess he's saying if you.
That's the thing. Like if you can only have one passion, that's different. But if you're talking, if I'm gonna pick Spider-Man and then nobody gets sneakers ever again, that's fucked up, dude.
Okay, well then let's do it that way. If you could only choose one passion and you then cannot have or see any of the other.
That's the part that I picked. I already did that because you.
Love you.
Yeah, and I picked sneakers, and I would probably do it again.
Would the Jordan 31 be the best performance model of all time if it had good traction?
It would be one of them, like for sure.
Still beats it?
Because it would have to do two things. It would have to fix the traction, and it would have to make the shoe not feel as wobbly as it did.
Well, is the 31 the best Jordan?
No.
What is the best Jordan?
To me?
Yes.
The 28.
The 28.
And 29. Low. And neither of those felt wobbly.
Yeah, they're not, the 28's not rounded at all on the bottom.
I mean, it's got the little protrusion where the zoom is, so it feels a little funny, but it's not like wobbly.
You're not on a boat?
The 31s was full length, and so it had a little bit of wobble to it, you know what I mean? Especially in the back. It was the back that I didn't like. I didn't mind the front. But yeah, I've said that before though. If you put good traction on that shit, like if you put the 33 traction on the 31, you might as well not make any shoes anymore. Might as well just make that.
Have you tried playing the Power Rangers Legacy Wars? It's a phone app.
I think I had it, but I didn't like it.
Is that the one Eric would play?
Yeah, my kid plays it. I don't like that shit. Like those stupid app games. I don't mess with those. I'm old school. I need a couple buttons like that I could touch.
That you know what I mean? Mash?
Yeah.
Do the non-boost foams you've tested out, such as Bounce, Jetlon, Charged, last a long time?
Bounce, yes. Charged, they put it, Charged is so tiny. Can you grab it? I still have it. The size 13 Currys. So this is that little, I don't know if you can see it, but that tiny little puck in there, that's the Charged. That's it. And it's only like this thick. And it's only like what, like 5-6 millimeters, maybe 8.
Does it bottom out though? Like, does it last?
I mean, any foam will bottom out, but like, you know, the ones that are more resilient would be like a Micro G, although like this technically is Micro G, the midsole, but it is hard as hell. That's the thing. All foams are almost the same, unless we're talking about polyurethane. All of these lightweight, like more traditional new age foams, they're all the same shit. They're all just different variations of the one thing. Like you have EVA and then you have different types. Like they've messed with by fractions, like percentages. For an example, this one brand made whatever cushion that they made and it was great, but it was a little bit too bouncy, you know what I mean? And so like then when I was testing the new model for the owner and designers and all that stuff, they were telling me like, let us know what you feel different. And then I told them like, hey, it doesn't feel quite as like, you feel much better. And he was like, cool, like we only tweaked it by 4%. That's how small the differences are between these things. If you're talking about, you know, which ones are the most durable besides Boost. Like Bounce is a good one, but I mean, everything's gonna bottom out eventually.
Would you say you get your money's worth though out of the shoe before it bottoms out?
With Lunar, no, but that's like rarely used anymore. Like my whole thing is you have a budget, right? Stick to that budget. Find the best shoe that you can at that price. So like whatever shoe it is, like that Curry, what was the retail price? 130, 120?
139.
I don't think it was really 139.
It says 139.99.
I know, but they lowered the price.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they for sure never hit 140. But like whatever the price was on that, 120. Just say there's a few people that are going to pay 120, and then there's a few smart people that are waiting until they hit 99. You know, and they're getting the same performance. This is the thing too. Why I never equate dollar value to performance, because it doesn't matter. The price is the price. The performance is the performance. What goes into the shoe is dictated by the brand and its budget and the design team. But however the shoe ends up being, whatever it turns out to be, it's always going to be that, no matter whether you bought it for $200 or you found it for 99 cents. Its performance is the same. That one thing of the shoe doesn't change.
Yeah.
Have your budget, stick to that budget, find the best shoe you can within that budget or within that range, and then do what you do in that thing, man. Just beat them up, playing them, and then on to the next one.
And if you love it, go buy the crap out of it.
That's the thing that I used to say all the time, like, because I stocked up on Kobe 4s, man, and then I never ended up getting around to them, not knowing that I was going to end up doing this.
No, I know. It's one thing if this is your business, but I'm saying, like, even me as a runner, oh,
No,
wow, I found a shoe that doesn't make my feet blister up. I'm going to buy as many as I can.
No, I know.
Stop making
And that's what I'm saying, though, is that, like, I wish that I would have used all of those Kobe 4s, but I just didn't know that when I bought them all that I would be being a YouTube person or whatever, you know?
This guy's in the process of starting his own business on YouTube/Instagram. Do you have any advice?
What's the question? He's starting up his own business?
Yeah, on YouTube/Instagram. Do you have any advice?
There's a lot of advice that I can give. The main one is, like, if your business is going to be on YouTube, I'm assuming that you're creating some kind of content to be consumed. And I don't know whether that content is entertainment or informational, but whatever the type of content it is, just create the content and put it out there. Eventually, you're going to find the audience for it. They're going to subscribe to you, you know what I mean? And it could be very fast. It could be very slow. It can be fucking painful, or it can be amazing, but you have to, like, let it do its thing. Like, you have to, like, trust the process, or whatever the saying is, and all that stuff. If you're gonna create something with the intent of finding people like you, which is what you're creating, like, you should never create anything to please somebody else. Like, if I was gonna create, this is a really bad example, but you're gonna find out how stupid I am sometimes. But, like, so if I'm gonna create porn, which I have no interest in, okay, I'm gonna get bored of creating porn. I'm going to end up being very unhappy because I don't care about porn. It's not something that interests me. I think that it's stupid and whatever. So instead of focusing my energy on creating what I'm not into, but everybody else is, I'm going to create and focus my energy on what I'm into, because that's what you call your passion.
Right.
And that passion is what's going to keep you going even when you're jaded in this business, because whatever the business is, it doesn't matter if it's sneakers, if it's music, if it's porn, if it's whatever, the people that are in there that control the money are going to ruin it for you. And if you're not passionate about it, it will ruin it for you, and then you're going to be unhappy also. So, like, you got to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that you're passionate about, you're creating content that you actually would like to consume yourself. Something that you could be proud of, something that you would identify with, because despite what you think, this world or whatever is so vast and so large that you might think that you're the only one into whatever it is that you're about to create. But I guarantee you there's a ton of fucking people out there like that, and you just have to find them, which is what YouTube is great for. And so you have to put yourself out there, and then when you do that, they will find you eventually. So just be patient, do your thing, don't get distracted and all of that stuff. Like, make sure that when you're creating what content you would be consuming yourself, because that's going to show and reflect in the type of content that you create.